Okay, so you can hear this track playing in the background, and I'm going to quickly take you through some of the sounds I used to make it. I actually stuck this amp on Positive Grid Tone Cloud. It's called Total Guitar High Gain Test, I think. It might say Alex on the end as well, although I don't imagine there are lots of people from Total Guitar uploading tone matches. Anyway, it's a 5150 style amp. It's quite dry, quite crunchy, but still pretty high gain. I'm running a tube screamer in front of it over here from Logic, and obviously I'm using my Jazzmaster, so it needs a little bit of extra punch to get that really kind of metal sound. You can see the controls here. You can see I've got the reverb off. So more interestingly, let's go to the preamp. We've got 12 AX7s and then the 12 BH7, which is a new tube for bias 2. We're running the bias a little bit hotter than the default, and we've changed around the low shelf and the middle a bit from the defaults too. The gain we've got about, I think, the same. You can see it goes up to 11, which is pretty funny, but we're not goosing it too much. We're putting that gain in front of the amp. We've got the noise gate on as well. The noise gate's pretty good, as it was on bias 1. Power amp, yeah, we just got 6L6s. It's an American voiced amp we're going for here, so there's no need to change them. And I think we put the power gain up a little bit here because it just gives it a little bit more saturation and chunk. And the bias is a bit hotter. Transformer, we're going with American Transformer, soft there. Yeah, I don't think there's anything surprising there. And then in terms of cab, it's a Vintage 30. Celestion Vintage 30 from the Celestion amp pack. There are a lot of good default cabs that come with bias, but this is my favourite out of the Celestion ones. We're running it closed back, and we've now using the 2 mic features, put an SM57 and a C414 in there. The position is slightly different for both of them. We're using the SM57 to get the fizzier tone and the C414 to get the kind of crunchier sound. And then we've also backed that off a little bit using the mixer. So onto the bass tones. This is just all regular bias now. There's nothing custom here at all. This is kind of SVT-like, I suppose. We've got the gain up, everything else kind of in about the same place. I think tubes as they came, just a little bit the bias changed. And it's quite scooped. I would maybe go back and change the middle a bit, but it sounds good. Again, bias adjusted slightly, but this is pretty much stock. Transformer again, stock as it came, and the cab, we're just using the bass blue cab with the SM57 over here, way off the speaker cone, and then a C414 dropped right up against the edge of the cone there. In terms of mixing, they're at the same level. I don't know, that just sounded the best to me. It's not particularly scientific, but it sounded cool. And the grind of the gain, we're trying to get a little bit of a perfect circle style thing going on. I dropped a compressor in front of it as well. It's just the Logic bass FET preset with just hardened the knee and brought everything down a bit, and that's the sound you're hearing.